Now let's admit it, if you or I were Hannah, and we had been provoked by Peninnah, and then our husband says something that doesn't really help, and we finally stand up and say, you know what, I'm taking this all to God because I just can't deal with this anymore. And we pray passionately, and we finally get to the place of surrender, and then the priest, or in your case the pastor, or maybe the main speaker at the big revival event that you've gone several miles to get to once a year for this big religious mountaintop experience, the person in charge of that whole thing then thinks you're drunk and calls you out on it and insults you. Do you think you and I would respond with, oh no sir, I'm deeply troubled and I'm just praying? No, we'd probably say, get out of my face. Who are you? And if I knew what those two sons of Eli was doing, I would probably say, who are you to call me out on my behavior? Have you taken a look at your two hoodlum sons and what they're doing here in the temple? And maybe you ought to confront them over something. And maybe you ought to talk to them about their drinking problem and other problems that I'm not even going to mention here in the house of God, instead of accusing me of doing something that your worthless sons would do. And by the way, this is the last time I'm coming to the temple in Shiloh. That's how we might respond, huh? Then we put it on Facebook. Don't ever go to the temple in Shiloh. This is how you're going to be treated if you pray and think you're drunk, and everybody else can put in their comments there and like it. That's what our flesh would want to do. We'd want to write the review, wouldn't we? That's how our mouths would want to fly off the handle. But Hannah has just come from a time of passionate prayer. She's just come from the presence of God, and it's changed her. She's spent time communing with God. She's just surrendered to God. And even if church politics aren't right, even if the man of God is not acting godly, even if she's falsely accused, even if someone steps on her toes or says something about her that isn't true, she's no longer considering her name or her reputation. She's now all about God's name and God's reputation. She's been in the presence of God, and it's changed her. Earlier in the story, she was crying. She wouldn't even eat. Maybe an hour or two earlier, she was taking it all to heart, remember? Peninnah was provoking her again. She was weeping bitterly. She wouldn't eat. How can you hurt me like this? I can't take this anymore. I want to give up. But having poured out her heart to God in prayer, she's no longer an emotional mess. She's no longer concerned about herself, or her name, or her reputation, or her circumstances. She's humble. She's meek. And she's emotionally stable. Peninnah said a few things. She couldn't handle it. The priests accused her of being drunk. She was able to handle it. She'd been with God in prayer, and it changed her. Now her frame of mind is, God has heard me. I'm going to be okay. He knows my heart. He'll take care of me. Peninnah's pestering, the priest's accusation and all. I'm his, and he's got my back.